My normal camera is not doing the job for me, so here we are. We'll use the new smartphone camera. Hopefully this works for me. The greenhouse, the tubs of melons, prints, watermelons, all sorts in there. The beds, the frames running through the middle with tomatoes. This one, capsicums, marigolds as companion plants, basil as companion, radish seedlings just popped through, radishes being used all sorts of purposes, garnishes, eating them raw. I eat them on the run, just wash the dirt off. Bit of spinach. Other frames, same, tomatoes, that one at the back had little sugar snap peas at the start of summer, tail end of winter. These gardens are all holding tomatoes that I thought I was going to lose through blight. Removed the infected foliage, put it in the garden bag. Don't put it in the compost. Sprayed intensively with copper every 3 days, and look at them, they've recovered. Just keep an eye on them now. Any infected foliage, remove it straight away and respray. We got odd patches of lettuce, again the marigolds, spring onions, tomato seedlings down there, grown those from cuttings, some beetroot. I try and grow a dozen plants at a time. When they're nearly ready to pick, I'll put another dozen plants in and we'll bottle them. More spinach, kurma seedlings that self-sprouted in the compost bin. Waste not, want not. I've never grown them before, so we'll see what happens. Again, basil and marigolds planted everywhere. Good companion plants, reduce whitefly. Haven't seen one this year. On the frame at the end, we've got runner beans. They're Kentucky poles. We've had 3 good picks off there. I'm going to tear them out later today possibly, or even this week sometime, and I'll replant. We'll get another crop. We've already put 10 kilos in the freezer. Over here, tubs with Agria potatoes. Little tip, when you plant, put the bag the seed potatoes came in, clip it to the side with your planting information. You've got ready reference. And the foliage dies right back on these in 2 or 3 weeks time. They'll be harvested, bagged up in the garage. The dirt will get put into this set of boxes, and I'll rejuvenate it by adding compost. All good? In the background, the plum. Sharon had a go at that yesterday. I think she made 6 kilos of plum jam. The girls going along happily. You might hear them in the background. They've been complaining. 4 or 5 eggs a day. Cucumbers, they're at the end of their life. I'll pull the vines out and replant. There's still plenty of time in the season. You can see from the size of some of those, they're really past their best when they get that big. A little bit on the tart side, but hey, they're good in a mix of vinegar and water with a little bit of sugar. Add tomatoes and onion, nice in a salad. Main crop potatoes, these are Moonlights. There's 100 millimeters of soil on the bottom, heavily composted. As potatoes sprout and grow, I add straw. So there's about 200 to 300 millimeters of straw on top. You can see the potatoes just love it. They've got a fair way to go. Again, when I plant, I write on the bag and clip it to the side. I can see when they're likely to be ready. Using this system of gardening, you can usually take a month off. There's already flower buds on here which shouldn't be there for another month, but there they are. Okay, moving around. The girls are busy telling me what they haven't hadn't done. They're good scrap eaters. When those cucumbers are past their prime, I cut them in half, give them to the chooks. They love it. They love it. I've got plans to put a top hang frame beehive in here as well. Round the corner, past the worm farm, doing well. Another small garden. This is 2.4 by 600 deep. You can see I've got that climbing jack frame on there. Lettuce is planted at the bottom, a few basils. Got a capsicum plant there. Again, this thing's been hit by blight. You can tell that from the yellowing leaves. I really need to get into this, pull all that stuff out, and again give it heaps with copper. In the hydroponic bins, these two fish bins, bottom bin filled with water, pumping the solution up into the top bin. Round and round, 2 tomato plants in there. Do they like it? Well, what do you think? So we just eat on these as we walk around. Sweet, intense flavours, absolutely beautiful. Might have to go and grab a radish now. The lettuce cupboard. Why do I grow so many lettuce? Because I can. Neighbours get them, chooks eat them, never wasted. Some sad ass strawberry plants. Yeah, they're munted. I'm just too lazy to clean them up. The strawberries in the hydroponics had just been picked this morning. Sharon got into them. In their peak, we're getting 2-3 chips of strawberries off these 40 plants every day. Some of the strawberries the size of eggs. We've done very well with these this year. They're off the ground, they're up against the wall of the garage. Good way to work it. In these beds, dwarf or bush beans. I use Kentucky dwarf variety first off. Got an excellent crop. 2 bedfuls. So pick them just before they've reached full maturity. They're sweet. Freeze them, have a couple of feeds, freeze them, and replant immediately. You'll get 2 crops a year easy. Those are the Kentucky dwarfs. These are the Yates top crops. You can see them just sprouting now. In the heat we're having, from 7 days normal sprouting, we're down to 2 or 3 days. It works so quickly. Over here my compost is still going strong. You've seen my system before. I collect my grass clippings. They sit there for 2 or 3 months, as long as it takes for the tumbler to mature. In the tumbler I put a bucket full of recovered chook droppings that the girls donate, mix that with the partially rotted grass, rotate it. When it's ready I drop it into the bins on the bottom. It works fine. The hydroponics, in my little shed I have my nutrients tester and various tools and stuff handy to the garden. Okay, that's it for me.